what Andrew Tate should do now that he has been completely banned from all of social media. This is what I would do if I were him. And in case you don't know who Andrew Tate is, he is basically a former world champion kickboxer, entrepreneur, self-made multimillionaire who started blowing up all over the internet really not that long ago. And he was really saying things that, I mean, most guys in the red pill community already know, but I mean, he was really taking it to the extreme. I mean, if you can consider it that even, right? But the powers that be who run these social media platforms, which are mostly part of the woke mafia, did not like it, right? And they all essentially, allegedly, colluded together to ban him because he really just kind of like got banned at the same time off of all these platforms. So you have to wonder, like, do they collude with each other? You know, what's going on here? Do they talk to each other about who they're about to ban? Regardless, this guy had millions of followers, right? I mean, he blew up really fast. Millions and millions of followers. That means that people want to hear what he has to say. People are voting with their feet. Okay? People are voluntarily giving him their eyeballs, their eardrums to listen to what he has to say. The message he has. And a lot of these people were loyal followers. A lot of them were really, looking at him as somebody who could give them truths, right? And you might look at me the same way, right? But I don't have millions of followers. I have a few 100,000, which I never even thought I'd achieve. But he essentially had these followers, okay? And again, nobody was holding a gun to anybody's head, be like, you better listen to Andrew Tate or else. No. People were voluntarily choosing to listen to him, as was many other YouTubers and social media celebrities that people were voluntarily choosing to listen to. So what happened was these social media platforms came along and went, you know what? Listened to some of his rhetoric and went, hey, whoa, mister. We don't like what he's saying, all right? We don't think this is good for you. We don't want you to hear this kind of stuff. So acting like essentially helicopter parents, they came in and removed him, right? As they've like removed and banned other former social media celebrities that they did not like, right? Essentially, mostly those who speak the truth. I'm just gonna pull over for a second here so I could gather my thoughts on this. So they took it upon themselves to remove him, even though he had millions of followers. Okay, just like anybody else who's banned in the past. I've seen a lot of people banned who had millions of followers, completely just wiped off social media. It's like, and then their fans are left to go, hey, I want to listen to this guy. I want to hear what he says. Why are you preventing me from voluntarily listening to this guy? And obviously, he has millions of followers. What does that tell you? That tells you that lots and lots of people want to hear what he has to say. Whether they agree or not, they want to hear what he has to say. So the social media platforms took it upon themselves to be like, we don't care. We don't like it. It doesn't mirror our ideologies. So let's remove him. This is very dangerous rhetoric he's spreading here. We don't like it, so we have to remove him. So they're basically essentially saying, we don't care what you think. We don't care what you like. We don't care if you want to hear his message. We don't like the fact that you're listening to him. It's dangerous for us because it conflicts with our own narrative, our own agenda, which is essentially to get everyone to at the end of the day, really pull for the left and the matriarchy and destroy the patriarchy and install Marxism. I mean, this, at the end of the day, guys, do your research. I mean, this is flat out, what they're doing here is flat out Marxist 101. Right? And, that's fine. If you want to believe in those values, fine, go to a country that supports that, right? Plenty of them out there. However, they're trying to turn this one into that, and they're trying to remove essentially what Marxism is. It's removing fathers and men from, well, first fathers from the family, right? And really men from the equation. All right, so they could put women in charge and just completely disempower men. And there has never been a civilization in all of man, right, in our entire history, that has ever thrived without men leading the way. Plenty of civilizations fell once the men became weakened, right, and the women gained more power. And I see us going in that direction. We are definitely weaker than we were, say, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15, 20. We're absolutely weaker. Don't kid yourself. So regardless, that is what happened to Andrew Tate. And now he has essentially been banned from all of social media because he was saying things that the establishment did not like. And don't make any mistake about it. All these social media platforms, all of these leftists, all of, the woke coalition, I mean, they're all in bed with each other. They're all in cahoots with each other. They all have the same, ideologies. I mean, I remember watching a podcast, like, this was probably 5 years ago. I mean, which seems like ages ago now in the social media space. I remember watching a podcast 5 years ago because I've always been in the middle. And this podcast, I'm not going to mention who was leading it, but it was a bunch of red pill dudes, right? And they were saying, can you vote left, basically Democrat, and still be red pill? And they all unanimously said no, because the ideologies of the left directly conflict with truths, right? What's natural and organic and godly. I mean, it just conflicts with all of it. And 5 years later, I mean, even more so today, right? The ideologies of the left conflict with just basic natural truths. I mean, these days, I can't even believe where we are these days, where people are literally on the left, they are afraid to define what a woman is. They are literally, your leaders, if you vote that way, your leaders are literally getting on national television and saying men can have babies. This is just crazy town. Okay? I don't vote, by the way, so don't peg me as right or left. But if you're a voter, man, and you're still voting that way, that is what you're supporting, right? You see these kids at drag shows, literally at drag shows, like children as young as like 4 years old, 6 years old, sitting there like freaked out that their parents are dragging them these things. And that's completely just normal, And so whenever I hear somebody still supporting that, I'm like, that's what goes through my mind, and I just think not to get off topic with Tate, but I just think the right is just way too passive. I think they're just always taking the high ground, which, they're just trying to be at least more moral when it comes to that, because a lot of them are Christians and they're always trying to take the high ground. But at times you have to realize, like, your opponent's fighting dirty, man, and you need to call that out, first of all. And you need to expose that, and then, do something else, because this whole high ground stuff is not working. Look where we're at now, where essentially they're redefining like what a recession is, because we're in a recession technically. So they need to redefine that so you don't think we're in a recession. They're redefining what a woman is. Unbelievable. They're telling you that dudes can have babies. What? What world are you living in where you would even want to associate with that? Right? If it were me, and I used to, say I used to vote that way, I never voted, but say I used to vote that way, I would just stop voting, right? If I really don't like the right, I would just, and now the left's doing that. For me, if if I were that guy, I would just stop voting because I wouldn't want to be part of either, right? However, that's where we're at right now. And just getting back to Tate, what I would do if I were him, sorry it took so long to get to this point, but what I would do if I were Tate, or I would just start my own social media company, right? No different than what Trump has done. I would just get out there and launch my own social media, social media platform where I could speak what I want. And he has millions of followers. He has millions of dollars. He can make this happen, right? He could totally make this happen. Or he can invest with Trump and really build out Truth Social. I mean, I think this is a good opportunity for him to really just, do something with somebody, bigger than him financially and has more of a reach than he does. Obviously, with Andrew Tate's, some of the things he says, it's going to put a lot of people off. So, but he needs to do either one of those two things. Like create his own social media platform where he owns it and it's all about truth. Maybe something to compete with Trump's Truth Social, and really grow these platforms out, because that is really what we need these days. That is really what people are craving for these days, is just uncensored truths. Okay, uncensored truths. And you can already see, like, from the amount of people who have been banned off these platforms because they're not towing the line, because they're not mimicking the same exact, agenda that the left is. You can already see, like, people are getting tired of it, right? People just want to hear the truth. You have to let people speak, because the second you put tape over their mouths and you try to shut them up, all you're doing is exposing yourself as, essentially a fascist, right? Or, as a tyrant, which the left has become. They have become completely tyrannical. You cannot tell me otherwise, right? And if you don't think so, you're not living in reality. With just the few things I mentioned in this coaching video that they're doing. I mean, you can't even say mother anymore. You have to say birthing person. I mean, they are literally changing the language. They are forcing this upon you. You cannot look anywhere, turn on your TV, turn on even just listen to music without being brainwashed, right? Without having propaganda trying to be implanted in your head. I mean, they're literally telling you to stop thinking for yourself. So why do you think they're telling you that? So they can control you easier. Unreal, right? But that's my advice for Tate, man. Start your own social media platform, or hook up with Trump and really build out Truth Social, right? And let anybody on that platform, let anybody speak, including leftists, let them on there too, and just make it a free speech platform where people can speak. Don't be afraid of people's ideas. If they're real racists out there, or, like KKK, whatever, and they start their little channel, sure, they're going to get some followers, right? But it's not going to grow to the extent of most people who are being reasonable, right? You have to let the free markets do their thing. Okay, you can't just shut people up, because then you get people hiding in secrecy, right? You get like racists and KKK just like going underground. No, you want them out there and you want to know who they are. Right? You don't want to have them hiding. So anyway, that is my advice for Tate. What do you think Andrew Tate should do now that he's been banned from social media? Drop your comments below. Let me know your thoughts on this and how you felt about it when you heard he got banned, and how you feel about cancel culture in general, and anything I might have missed, anything you'd like to add, drop them in the comments below. Okay? See you in the next coaching video, guys.